Okay, let's dive right into one of the biggest questions in tech and finance today. Is blockchain really going to change everything, or is it just a whole lot of hype? The answer, well, it could literally reshape the entire global financial system. The stakes are incredibly high. So, to really get to the bottom of this, we've got to understand the core conflict here. You see, there are two very powerful competing stories being told about this technology, and we're going to break both of them down. This is it. This is the multi-trillion-dollar question. I mean, everyone from the biggest banks on Wall Street to the smallest startups in Silicon Valley is racing to figure this out. Is this the future? Or is it just a fascinating but ultimately flawed experiment? And it really all boils down to a tale of two very different futures. On one side, you've got this incredible promise of a totally open, instant, global financial network for everyone. But on the other side, the peril. A technology that critics warn is just too slow, way too risky, and honestly too complex for the real world. All right, let's start with the bright side. Let's look at the optimistic view. Why do so many people believe that blockchain is about to kick off a genuine financial revolution? Well, it all comes down to a few really game-changing ideas. First things first, speed. Right now, if you're settling a big financial transaction, it can take days, literally days, and that ties up a ton of money. Blockchain could potentially slash that time by 80%. We're talking about going from a multi-day waiting game to something that happens almost instantly. That alone frees up so much cash and reduces risk for the entire system. And that speed, it leads directly to huge cost savings. Think about it. By cutting out many of the traditional middlemen and automating things with smart contracts, which are basically just self-executing bits of code, the industry could save something like $15 to $20 billion every single year. But the vision here isn't just about making the old system faster and cheaper. It's about building a brand new one. Welcome to the world of decentralized finance, or DeFi. This is where people can lend, borrow, and trade assets directly with each other. No bank needed. For the billions of people around the world who don't have access to a bank, all they'd need is a phone and an internet connection to get in on the action. And look, this isn't some fringe concept. You've got major players like JP Morgan saying this is a chance to leapfrog the infrastructure we have now, to build something fundamentally better from the ground up. When they're saying it, you know it's serious. Okay, so that's the dream. That's the promise. But for every one of those exciting possibilities, there is a serious, very real hurdle that skeptics love to point out. So now, let's flip the coin and look at the other side. The first massive issue is a fundamental problem in engineering called the scalability trilemma. So here's the deal. A network wants to be decentralized, secure, and fast. The problem is, it's almost impossible to get all three at the same time. It's a constant balancing act. If you want more speed, you might have to sacrifice a little decentralization, which could then impact security. It's a tough puzzle to solve. And here's a great way to think about it. Imagine a huge, bustling city, but it only has a tiny two-lane highway going in and out. That's kind of like Bitcoin right now. It can only handle about 7 transactions a second. Now, compare that to Visa, which is processing thousands every second. You just can't run the global economy on a 2-lane road. And then, of course, there's the big one, the energy debate. The original systems, like Bitcoin's proof of work, use an insane amount of electricity. We're talking as much as entire countries. That's a huge environmental red flag. The good news, newer models called proof of stake, which Ethereum has famously switched to, are designed to be over 99% more energy efficient. So there is a much greener path forward. Now, this risk map here tells a really interesting story. It lays out all the biggest roadblocks. But just look at that top right corner, the red zone, regulatory uncertainty. For big banks and institutions to really dive in and invest billions, they need clear rules. They need to know what's legal and what's not. And in most parts of the world, those rules just aren't there yet. So you've got this incredible promise on one side, and these massive, monumental challenges on the other. It kind of begs the question, right? What is actually being done to close that gap between the exciting innovation and the harsh reality? So, are developers actually making real, tangible progress on these huge problems? Is anyone fixing this stuff? And the answer is a pretty definitive yes. Some really clever solutions are already out there, and they're starting to change the entire game. One of the biggest innovations is something called a Layer 2 solution. The best way to think about it is like an express toll lane for that congested blockchain highway. What it does is it bundles a whole bunch of transactions together, takes them off the main road, processes them super fast and cheap on a separate layer, and then just records a single, simple summary back onto the main secure chain. The result? A massive jump in speed and much, much lower fees. And we're already seeing some pretty solid projections for the real-world impact of all this. While blockchain's going to touch a lot of different sectors, this data shows that finance is really expected to lead the charge. We're looking at a forecasted 45% market penetration and a $15 billion return on investment by 2030, all driven by that massive 80% cut in settlement time we were just talking about. So, with all that said, where does this leave us? Well, it looks like we're not actually heading for a revolution where one system completely destroys and replaces the other. What seems to be emerging is something much more interesting, a hybrid model. You know, the whole debate is starting to shift. It's not really about traditional finance versus DeFi anymore. The most likely outcome, the future that's taking shape, seems to be a powerful mix of both, combining the stability of the old system with the sheer innovation of the new one. Ultimately, the goal here is to get the best of both worlds. You take the incredible efficiency, the transparency, and the global reach of blockchain, but you pair it with the stability, the trust, and the regulatory oversight that the traditional system has built up over decades. And that leaves us with one final, pretty fascinating question to think about. As these two worlds, the old and the new, start to merge and blend together, what completely new financial products and services are going to become possible for all of us? That's the landscape that's being built as we speak, and it's one we're all going to be a part of.